How you doing today, folks? So first of all, thank you for watching this video. Above all, that means the most to me, and for those of you who actually take the time to sit down and watch these stupid little videos that I make, I appreciate it. So today we finally got a day off work. I have my dog with me, and we are going to do a little bit of fishing. We're also going to talk a little bit about one of the best advantages I think you can take advantage of here in the Outer Banks, and that is the ORV permit, the driving on the beach permit. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, some of the ramps that I prefer to use, and basically what's been biting. So today it's about 60 degrees outside. We had a really cold snap past couple days, but from what I've heard, the fishing's been a little bit better. There was a couple nice black drum being caught at one of the ramps on Hatteras Island. There's even some nice big bull reds starting to show up down on the Ocracoke end. So I think we're going to hit up Ocracoke tomorrow. We were going to go today, but it's such a pretty day. We've got Berkeley with us, so I think we're just going to ride down to down towards the point at Hatteras, and just kind of focus in around there. From what I've always been told, the point on Hatteras Island is some of the best surf fishing in the world. That's what I've always been told. It's definitely some of the best on the East Coast. So I've only ever been out to the point a couple times. The fishing's generally pretty good out there, especially the right time of year, the right bait, that sort of thing. Just stopped right above the house at Frank and Friends Tackle in Avon, North Carolina. Got some fresh mullet. Live bait still hasn't showed up like I was hoping it would, but you know, you can't control that kind of thing. So whenever it shows up, it'll probably change the whole game. But for now, we're still relying on as fresh a bait as we can. We got some fresh mullet, some fresh shrimp, and that sort of thing. So hopefully we can make something happen today. A few, God, I lost my train of thought. A few black drums showing up. Dog sharks are starting to roll in. The occasional flounder here and there has even started to make a presence. So, you know, the fish are starting to roll in. It's a lot more than a couple weeks ago when I first got here, and there was pretty much nothing biting anywhere. But aside from that, it's peaking up. Fishing's getting better. So today we're gonna head out to probably gonna put in at ramp 44, which is the one right at the point, and work our way south. It seems like the warmer water is trying to push its way up beneath the point, so we're going to try to stay south of the point as much as we can. But we may ride out to the point itself if we can get out there. Generally, it's pretty full, and just see what happens. So we'll see what happens. But here in a little bit, we'll talk about some of the things you need to know when you're going to drive on the beach. The permit and all that sort of thing that you need to get. So let's hope we can get on the fish today. Y'all stay tuned. Alrighty, so we just got to ramp 44 right here on the Cape Hatteras National Seashore. So basically the way it's broken down, they have certain ramps throughout the coast. I'm not sure where they start. Never really had a cause to know it. I just know the ones in and around the area that I go a lot. So ramp 44 is the closest ramp to the point at Hatteras. And get out, Bert. So that's the closest one to the point at Hatteras. Now you can go on, there's ramp 43 and 44. I would not recommend 43. That, in my experience, has been the softest sand. Whenever I've gotten stuck, that's where I've gotten stuck at, is on 43. But if you go 44, it's nice. It's decent for the most way. That's going to put you closest to the point, which is generally where the best fishing is. On top of that, right before you cut up 44, there's what's called the inside road. There's an inside sand road that runs from 44 down to 48. So from the point all the way down to south of the point, that is where the inside road runs, generally where some of the best fishing is. So let's talk about another part of it. One of the biggest things for me is making sure your vehicle's in four-wheel drive. Making sure your vehicle's in four-wheel drive and that your tires are aired down. So generally I keep between 40 and 45 pounds of air in my tire. I generally, whenever I air down, I like to start at about 25. That gives you room to work with. You may have to drop it down even lower. So it just depends. If you get in some really soft sand, you know, you may have to drop them down even lower than that. Right now I'm sitting on about 25. Just coming up the access road here to the ramp. So it's it takes some getting used to. Just, I find it's easier if you just go ahead and put it in four-wheel drive. You don't have to worry about it, you know. But to me, it's much easier. It seems like there's a lot of vehicles out today, a lot of people on the road. I'm not gonna fool around with even going out to the point. It seems like it's pretty full out there. So I'm gonna ride down to 48, which is the lower end, where I'm hoping maybe some warmer water will be pushing up to the point, and you know, maybe we can get on some fish there. But so there's a few things you need to remember when you're gonna drive on the beach. First of all, you need to remember that it's gonna be unstable. Okay, you're gonna jerk, you're gonna have to turn a lot. The biggest thing from what I've always been told about driving on the beach is don't panic. If you feel yourself bogging down, don't floor it. You know, don't run it to the floor or anything like that. Don't do that. That's only good. That's where most people mess up. So don't panic. If you feel yourself bogging down, like you're gonna sink, you're getting stuck, just let your foot off the gas. If you feel that it's deep enough that you can't get out, then you need to let some more air out of your tires. You know, you don't necessarily have to call a tow truck just because you can't move. You can work with it, you know, but don't be flooring it and keep spinning your tires, because then you are going to get stuck. Then you're going to bottom out, and then you are going to have to you're going to have to dig your truck out or your vehicle or whatever, or you're going to have to call somebody to come pull you out, which is no fun. So, air your tires down. Four-wheel drive is always a good recommendation. 4 high is generally what I keep mine in, unless it gets really bad, then I'll pull it in 4 low. 4 high, you can still drive at a decent speed. I mean, there's no, you know, speed limit, but generally I keep it, you know, whenever it's moving 20 miles an hour on the beach, that's nothing. That's about what most people do. So, on top of that, there's a few things that you need to carry with you whenever you are driving on the beach. Anytime you're driving on the beach. First of all, you need to carry some sort of tow strap. Something where if you get stuck, somebody can pull you out. And that may be as simple as somebody pulling you a foot or two out of the sand that you're currently in, so you can keep going. That's it. I've just got an old piece of Kevlar. Kevlar is really strong, but if even if I have to double it together, it's still strong enough somebody could pull me out if they had to. On top of that, you need a shovel. Some sort of shovel for you to be able to dig yourself out if you do bottom out, and you get some sand sitting up on the fender of your vehicle or whatever. So that's going up to that road. So shovel, some sort of tow strap, a block of wood in case you have a flat tire, a jack, block of wood is always good to have, because it doesn't matter how good a jack you have. Like, I've got a hydraulic jack. See, now a lot of times this is what it's like driving on the beach. It's rough. There's been a lot of traffic through here today, so the ruts are kind of bottomed out. The ruts are pretty high. Generally, you can try to stay in the tracks as much as you can. If you see tracks already laid out in front of you, generally that sand's going to be more packed down. It's a little bit easier to drive in for the most part. But if you have a low sitting vehicle, you know, all of us aren't fortunate enough to have big jacked up trucks. You know, sometimes you got to watch out for the ruts, you know, because if they get too high, they will bottom you out. So you got your jack, you got a bit of wood to put your jack on in case you have a flat tire. A tow strap, a shovel is always good to have. And I guess lastly, the most important thing would be to get your permit. So we might have to wait till we get off this little section of the road to talk about the permit, because it's a little rough through here right now. Yep, she's a little rough today. But regardless, I'll tell you what, guys, as soon as we get off this section of the road, get on some little calmer stuff, we'll talk about the permit. But for now, y'all just hold tight and get off this road. Okay, all right. Sorry about that, guys. So we finally made it to 48. The water looks beautiful this morning. But one of the thing I was going to talk about, the last most important thing when you're going to drive on the beach, is the ORV permit. So most of the shoreline here is regulated by the National Park Service. So the one thing you're going to need when you drive on the beach is an off-road vehicle permit. I wonder. That's the stakes. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to figure out where to go. So we've got a couple vehicles sitting up here. Doesn't look like but a couple are fishing, so I don't want to cut them off. The point's full. I can see that from here. There's quite a few vehicles out on the point. I think I'm just going to go right around here, maybe a little south. The guy who caught that nice black drum was just south of the ramp the other day. So I think that's where I'm going to go. It's just a little bit south of the ramp. Try to get in some tracks here. There we go. A little bit better. Yeah, I think we're going to go just south of the ramp. And gosh, the water looks good this morning. And we are going to try it right about here. And I am going to back into this stuff if I can. So alrighty, guys, so we are out here at ramp 48 today, and as you can see behind me, it is beautiful. So we're gonna get the rod set up, we are gonna get the stakes put out, and we're gonna catch some fish. So y'all stay tuned. Alrighty, so we didn't get a lot of footage on the beach. I'm still trying to figure out. Normally I use a GoPro, like for on the boat and stuff like that. I'm still working on getting it mounted where I can you know, set it up on the back of my truck and that sort of thing when I'm on the beach. So still working on that, but it was a good day. We managed to catch a little puppy drum, a little red drum. For those of y'all who aren't aware, sorry, it's bright outside. The state regulations for red drum, they have to be between 18 and 27 inches, and you can only have one per day. The one I caught this morning measured exactly 23, so it's good. The first drum I've caught in a long time. One of the bigger drum that I've ever caught, even though it's really not that big. But you know, it's still good. So we're gonna go back to the house and see what we can do. We're gonna get it worked up, and I don't know, maybe we'll do a little catch and cook video. Yeah, that's entirely possible. So who knows? You know, we'll see what happens. But later on, I will. Obviously, I'll get some pictures of the fish and all the good stuff, and talk about basically where I was fishing, what I was using, that sort of thing. Just really for future reference. I will say right now the water is unseasonably warm. Right now, it's a little warmer than I thought it would be, than I think any of us really planned on it being. So the fishing's been good. A few drums starting to show up, a few flounders starting to show up. So we'll see. But we will see y'all in just a few minutes when we get back to the house to get this thing cut up. How's it going, folks? So we just got home. I've got the redfish on the table. We're about to clean it up, but real quick, I wanted to take a second and talk about what I was fishing with today and what I caught it on. So the rod that I'm using is just I'm not sure how well you can see it. It's a Shimano FXS series. It's the 9-foot medium heavy fast action rod. So it's got some backbone to it, but it's got a little bit of play in the end. That's just enough where the surf doesn't beat it up so bad that you can't tell, but that it still gives you a little bit where you can play with it. You know, you can still see some smaller bites on that rod. So that's the rod itself. The reel is a Mitchell 398 series, just a big spinning reel, and I've got that rigged up with just some 20-pound, as you can see, just high-vis yellow line. I believe that is actually offshore angler line, maybe. I can't exactly remember. Offshore angler or strand, I can't remember. But the actual rig that I use, the important part, is just your basic sinker slide. I've got that rigged on, and then I've got that on the swivel hook, and that is actually a 5/0 hook. So that's what I used to catch the fish this morning. So that's pretty much it as far as what I caught it on. Caught it on cut mullet. Nothing fancy. I didn't do anything extra to the bait, just small quarter-sized chunks. God, that sounds horrible. Small quarter-sized chunks, nothing fancy. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. We're gonna get this fish cut up and see what we can do. Tomorrow, be expecting another video. We are heading down. This morning we were on Hatteras Island, which is where I live. Tomorrow we are going down to Ocracoke Island, which is, if you're familiar with the Outer Banks at all, it's the next island south. So our journey will start in the morning on the ferry over to Ocracoke. Gonna go and get the rods cleaned up, get them clean and ready to go tomorrow. Probably stop and grab some fresh bait in the morning on the way down. But yeah, let's get this redfish cooked up. Again, guys, I don't have that many subscribers. Don't have that much view time on my videos or any of that. None of that crap matters to me. What matters to me is that I have the ability to go out here and do something that I love. And I mean, obviously, I'm not getting paid for this. I will never get paid for this. That's fine. I can handle that. But just the fact that I can come out here and make these videos and do something that I love to do so much, and have people watch it and really get the sense that somebody out there appreciates it. You know, maybe it might only be, I don't know, 7 or 8 people. I think that's how many subscribers I have. So if it's that many, that's fine. You know, when I started this channel, I wanted to show what fishing was like through the eyes of somebody amateur, you know, who doesn't catch a lot of fish, who doesn't, you know, who is still learning, and you know, who isn't a pro. You know, I've been very grateful, you know, to have the support that I've had from my fiance and from the guys over at Jack Baits, who have always, you know, went above and beyond for me. And I've had to take a little break from bass fishing, and that's been hard. A new job temporarily has caused me to have to get away from the lake more, you know, and I really didn't want to do that. But that's a different story. I'm making moves to make my way back towards the lake and where I really want to be. So, but for now, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. I promise I will try to get some actual beach footage tomorrow instead of just me talking the whole time, because nobody wants to listen to me talk, including myself. So we're gonna get this red cleaned up. We're gonna get it in the deep fryer, and just thank y'all so much for watching this video. Again, every time I do a video, I should do it every time, but I try to do it every time. Anybody out there who loves to bass fish, go check out jackbaits.com. Jackbaits.com, they will get you set up for the spawn bite. It's certain parts of the country, the spawn's hot and heavy right now. Certain parts you're still pre-spawn, so just depends. Different areas, different time of year. But for all your bass fishing needs, go check out jackbaits.com. If you're ever down around Hatteras Island, go check out Red Drum Tackle. The guys down there in Buxton at the Red Drum Tackle shop will get you set up right. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see y'all tomorrow for part 2 when we go catch some more red drum. So y'all stay tuned. Thank you. Much love, you guys. Y'all have a good day.